Hey guys, Gemini Builder here. I'm David. That's my mess. We pulled everything off the pegboard. We're gonna do some realignment, some shuffling. We're gonna stack that piece of pegboard on top of this piece of pegboard. We're gonna build a shelf here. Well, it's actually gonna be a box with a bunch of shelves in the middle for organization. We're gonna try to get the power tools that are behind that organized, straight, vertical, clean, neat, right over here. No plans, we're winging it today. So we're gonna cut some wood, make some sawdust, and see what happens. Pegboard's up, into the studs, nice, solid, ready to rock. Now the hard part. Organization. So here you see me screwing in the magnetic tool holders from Harbor Freight. For less than $5 a piece, you cannot go wrong. They hold everything. Wrenches, pliers, nail sets, drills, drill bits, saws, wire strippers, anything you need. I will be getting more of these in the future, and you should too. Here you see me laying out my Ryobi 18-volt cordless tools and my Porter cable pneumatic nail guns. These will be going into the cabinet that I'm building, and I'm trying to get an idea of where and how they're going to fit together. Sanders, routers, drills, saws, nailers, biscuit joiners, it's all going in. It's all going to be organized. Let's get it! So after taking some quick measurements, getting a very rough idea, seems like we're going to need a 36-inch by something like 48-inch box. Then we'll put in the cross shelf and lay in the dividers and get these things vertical on the wall. Still got to take this apart. A lot of progress made organizing the wall again, getting things up off the workbench. Now this stuff has to be put away. Let's get this table saw cart disassembled finally, and we'll move on from there. So after disassembling the table saw cart, I had a bunch of scrap that I ripped 12 inches wide. The top and bottom were cut to 46.5 inches in length, and the two sides were cut 36 inches in length. Here we're gonna pre-drill and screw in with 2-inch long drywall screws, more than enough stability, solidity, to hold it fast for all the tools we're going to put on there. Here you see me being a complete newbie and completely missing the shot. Next time. Better next time. Once again, you can see me lining up the edges of the boards and pre-drilling for the screws. We're going to do that on all 4 sides, check it for square, and get set up for the center divider. Here you can see that we've laid out for the center divider, and I'm just drilling holes through the center of those layout lines so that when I flip it over, I'll be able to drill and countersink easily, knowing right where to place them. Now we'll slide that divider over, make sure it's square, and drill it fast. With the 3rd screw going in place, this divider is ready to go and not going anywhere. Here you see we flipped over the carcass. We now have the divider laid out along that center line that I just drew, pre-drilling the first screw in place to lock it down. And then I'll come back in drill the additional 2 holes and lock those in as well. Here you see me measuring and laying out for the horizontal shelf. That's going to divide the right carcass in half horizontally. That'll give us a place to set up all of our dividers in which we're going to store our drills, our sanders, our pneumatic nail gun, biscuit joiner. Now that first screw is in for the horizontal shelf, we lay out the lines for the final 2 screws on each side, where we can now quickly and easily countersink, drill, and drive in the screws. On the bottom of the cabinet, you can see the Ryobi 18-volt power tools have been laid out and the spacing appropriately set. I did some quick looking and calculating for the dividers, cut those on the table saw, cross cut them on the miter saw, and are now hammering them in place and nailing them home. Now that the pneumatic nailers are in place, we're quickly moving along, setting up the cubbies for the belt sander, random orbit sander, and palm sander. Now that everything is in place and clamped down, we're going to drive some screws into the bottom of the cabinet and the top, and that'll hold the sander dividers straight and tight. Welcome back. It's day 2 and it's freezing. You can actually see my breath when I talk, and it was snowing this morning. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Anyway, get some more pieces cut so we can get the bottoms trimmed out with the dividers like the top is. Then I want to get this up on the wall. It's going to be a quick turnaround, getting it up, shutting that door, trying to get some heat back into this room. All right, guys, so we got the dividers, we're cutting them up. This is simply 1/4-inch birch. Got this from the scrap bin, the coal pile at Home Depot, 70% off. So instead of like $34 for a sheet, 10 bucks, 11 bucks, whatever it was, 4x8 sheet. It was dished like a Pringles, but it didn't matter because I knew I was gonna chop it up small. So I'm gonna get these cut, put them in place. Okay, all the pre-work for cutting the dividers is done. So now we're just gonna turn this thing on to time lapse, and we're gonna come across and put them in. Okay, we have the 3 cubbies divided. We want to get this up so that it's sitting parallel to the ground. Does that make sense? So I have this scrap piece. I'm going to trim it down, join it to the bottom. That'll let the saw sit nice and straight. So, final steps before we get this on the wall. You're going to attach these blocks here, 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 and here. Glue and screws, that'll give us solid mounting points to put it into the wall. We'll be ready to go. Okay, it's still freezing, but we're getting closer. We're almost done. Okay, I'm gonna put in this second mounting block so we can get it up on the wall, and we'll assess then where we're gonna put the rest of the blocks so we can anchor it firmly. It's freezing, but I'm almost done. Gotta get this up on the wall. So come on, let's screw these holes and get it in. I had a guy that built my house once when I lived in South Carolina. And he called carpentry guerrilla carpentry when it was like on site and in the house. And this, I think this qualifies as guerrilla carpentry. It's rough, it's dirty, but it serves its purpose. It's mounted on the wall, it's not going anywhere. Now I'm gonna fill it up, get cleaned up, because we're going shopping. Gotta go to the Home Goods, gotta go to the Hobby Lobby, gotta do the Saturday thing with the lady. Hey everybody, Gemini Woodworker, I'm David, again. Listen, I wanted to get this shop cleaned up. It was a complete mess. So after I turned off the camera, I kept making shelves and I kept putting things away and organizing, and I couldn't be happier. So let me just run you through it real quick and see what we got. So utilizing the pegboard, those magnetic tool holders, got those from Harbor Freight. They're like $4.76. They are absolutely fantastic. Worth their weight in gold. Love them a lot. Really, really pleased with this. Got everything nice and organized. Might do some face frame to trim out the plywood because it kind of looks a little too rustic. Rustic's what we say when things aren't exactly perfect. So it's a little rustic, but it's okay. It works, it serves its purpose, and I'm pretty happy with it. So got my tools tucked away. Vacuum is probably full of sawdust because I cleaned up and there was a mess everywhere. Table saw tucked underneath, perfectly fits. Got lucky with the height. Everything rolls away, gets put up. Got to figure out what to do with this tabletop. I want to maybe get it up on the wall. Maybe the next thing I get up, because it just bothers me that it blocks all this usable storage space right here. And I definitely want to get something with these clamps. I don't like them hanging there. They're blocking the shelf. That's not really good, so I got to figure something out with that. All right, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, share. Let's grow this channel into something that you and I can both be happy to be a part of.